What's the matter? Okay.
I think we should go upstairs, right?
Maybe you should. Well, you just spilled it, Charlotte. It's fine. You can pick them up. Go ahead, pick them up. Okay. Oh, can you all go into YouTube? Is the YouTube stream okay? Can you guys check the YouTube stream and see if that's okay? Let me post the link here. I don't know if this is how this is gonna work. It's kind of complicated. So click on that link, and can you guys see everything? Is it smooth? There's no lag or anything?
It looks good.
There's no lag? Because
It doesn't look like it.
oh, perfect. It says poor connection on my, so okay, that's good. So all right, let's get started. Let me put my gloves on. I'm trying to type one-handed here. I don't know if you can tell. This is what the setup looks like. Let me put my gloves on. I'm gonna show you what it looks like from my end to see how sort of complex this is. And I guess the Teams is just for you to see, but here's that. And then after this monitor to see what I'm looking at, this is the streaming software, this is the guide, and then this is the YouTube with your chat. So yeah, the video is going to be a little bit delayed because we're going to be watching this through YouTube, but I don't know if it actually will be delayed because you guys are going to be telling me what to do, and then you'll just watch what you're telling me just like 30 seconds after, right? I guess in that way. Let's give this a try then. All right, so here's the frog. So let's look at our procedure. I have it. If you have it in front of you, but that'd be great. I don't know if you want to have me put the procedure up. It's just that the text will be kind of small. But we can totally try this. So like we can try this way. But that's what that looks like. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit small. So like we're gonna put the frog here with the dorsal side up. So this is the back. That's your dorsal side. Oh, I just kind of put myself here. And then let's just look at, because frogs are your amphibians, right? You can see that their skin texture is a lot different than if you were to say like a reptile. Frogs will absorb moisture through their skin, through like very porous skin, and they're amphibians because, like what you guys have answered last time, they have two lives, right? They can live born in the water, and they can live off land as well. So like feel free to sort of chime in at any time because yeah. So we can have a discussion during our dissection here. So the procedure says like examine the hind legs and front legs of the frogs. The hind legs are strong and muscular. So obviously you guys know that frogs can do most of their jumping and swimming with these massive legs. So if you think about the proportion here, like this is the size of like the hind legs, right? Like if I were to use scissors to look at the proportion here, this is like the thickness. And if we were to look at this and say like, man, this is like pretty much almost across the entire abdomen, right? So imagine if our thighs were to be like that, to be that size, right? We'll be pretty strong. And if you think about the size of this leg compared to the rest of the body, right? We can be pretty strong jumpers and runners in that sense. So and if we were to look at the forelegs, these ones provide the balance and the cushion after it lands. So you can see, let me see if this is the right setup because it's sort of twisted. So the lighter side here. So this is where it lands, and it has more of like a softer padding. And the hind legs, you can see that it's webbed, right? This is for in the aquatics. This is for the water. This is where it can swim, right? To propel the water. That's what they're used for. So if you think about the structure of both of these sort of hands or paws or whatever you call them, it's interesting that the back ones are webbed and the front ones aren't, right? that's a pretty unique sort of structure. And if you think about that through evolutionary perspective, then you can think that maybe these ones, you know, used to be fins, right? And then these ones maybe evolved into not having the web for grabbing food, because you know they can grab food and yeah, grab food and put it in its mouth, right? So locate the large bulging eyes. So the frogs have 3 eyelids. So if we were to look at here, I don't know how the focus here is. I wonder how I can make this focus a little bit better. But that's your eyes. We can see, we can start cutting open, and that there are actually 3 eyelids here. So let's see. So there, where are my forceps? So you can see that. Tell me if you can see any of this stuff. So this is one of the eyelids right here that can open and close, right? This is one of the 3 eyelids, right? Feel free to give me a response so I know you guys are here. Just unmute yourselves. And then here, here's another one. This is your another eyelid here, and there's your eyeball ones you have here. So the nictitating membrane is going to be one of these membranes that's going to be transparent. Let's see if I can cut this open here. So let's kind of go in and cut this. Make a cut here, and we can peel off the first sort of thick eyelid right here. Can you guys see, or is the focus not that great?
Looks fine.
You don't sound too enthused, Eric.
So I can sort of see it.
Eric is not having a good day today, or what? What's the matter, man? So there's the second eyelid. And let's cut this side open here. And then now the eyeball is exposed. So that's your nictitating membrane right here. So this is the first eyelid, second eyelid, and right here there's actually a membrane right here. I don't know if you can see, but this is the transparent membrane. So that goes there, and we can even cut the whole thing out and see if we can expose the entire eyeball. If you have any questions right now, just let me know. How bad is the delay here? Is it like 30 seconds or 10 seconds or?
I have like the YouTube video muted, and I'm just watching, like, I'm listening to the team's audio.
Okay. Oh, so can you tell that there is a significant delay, Joel, or?
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, like, I feel like it's the best way to do it. I was doing like the YouTube audio and then the team's muted, then I can't hear anything.
Right.
On the team, so.
Yeah, the delay might just make things a bit confusing for those who don't know, but it
Yeah,
should be.
I guess you just have to think that it's delayed. Hey, I guess if you were to well, I don't even know how this is working out on YouTube video. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that when I was setting this up.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's like 5 to 10 seconds.
I have to say the quality on the YouTube video is like way better than the Earthworm.
Yeah, that's why I chose to use the YouTube one instead of the Teams, because I think because like number one, I think the video is not equipped to do something like this on Teams.
Right.
Yeah, so look, like what I'm cutting here is that I'm trying to expose the eyeball. So like you can see that there's the eyeball is somewhere in here. And the juices are coming out. And then that's your membrane. So you can see that because of these 3 membranes is great for living in water. So it still can maintain vision underwater. And did you guys hear about next week, about school opening? There's the eyeball. You see that? There's the eyeball. I don't know if you can... there we go. Just like a circular ball. Just like that. right? So we expose all three of those eyelids, and this is just the eyeball. Kind of crazy, hey? So that's your eyeball. So we can move on. Behind each eye finds the circular eardrum called tympanic membrane. Let me see how we can open all of this stuff up by cutting this. Owen, you might have to unmute yourself because I can't see the chat, so I don't know what you're saying. I can see that you sent a message on my phone, but you might have to unmute yourself.
Oh, I did hear about the schools opening on June 1st. I'm just not sure if we're going to be actually going back to school with it.
Yeah, so it all depends if you guys need to come back to do any of the work. Oh, Charlotte, you can't be here right now. So this is your, right here at the back behind the eye, this is your tympanum. So that's like your eardrum right here. So you can see there's that membrane, and this is what the frogs used to listen or hear. Right, pretty cool, hey Abby? And frogs, because of their skin, they can actually breathe and absorb, like I said, moisture through its skin. I used to keep these red-eyed tree frogs back, I don't know, maybe like 7 years ago. So those are like the ones that found in rainforests in like Central America, South America. And the one thing that I had to do was to mist their enclosure because they have to be pretty damp and humid. So just like living in rainforest, right? And they absorb the moisture through the water. So you can't just have these frogs out in the open. You have to give them like a dish of water, or there's like these misters. You spray the enclosure with water, and that's where it absorbs the water. So now you can see that I cut off the skin, so you can see the two eyes right there, and then that's your two tympanum. That's basically your eardrum. This is your eardrum, and if we were to open this up, then you can probably see the membrane that's in here as well. But that's pretty cool, right? So like there's that membrane. So then if we were to look at the diagram, this is what it looks like, right? And then the mouth is here. I can peel the skin off to look exactly like the diagram. So this is just the exterior. So then the smell is coming now. Place the frog dorsal side up in the dissection pan, and then we're going to locate the tongue. Let's see if we can do that. So if we were to open the mouth, so there's the mouth that's open. Abby, do you want to see the tongue of the frog? So here's the head, right? And then here's the mouth, right? It has a pretty wide mouth, and if you open the mouth up, then you see that this is the tongue. There's your tongue. And if we were to kind of open this up, the frog's tongue is attached actually to the front of the mouth. It's actually pretty interesting. So if you look at this right here, that's where it attaches right to the bottom of that jaw. So if you take this tongue out, let me see. Whoa, I almost knocked the camera over. Let me grab my forceps here. So if I take this, you can actually take this tongue out, so you can see that it's actually attached right here. So it's pretty interesting. You think it's gross now? And that's your tongue right here. So I can try to unfold it. See, right here, right? It's not attached in the back. It's actually attached to the front of the mouth for this frog. And this is where it grabs, like it folds open or unfold, and then it can try to get insects for food, right? This is where it sort of slings out, sticks to the insects, and then pulls them back in and goes into the back. So it's pretty flexible. Let me kind of just scroll down here. And then inside of this upper jaw, the maxilla, and then there's the lower jaw, that's the mandible. And then you can see, let's see if you can feel some teeth here, but it's somewhere up here. So right up here has just really minor small teeth up here. Okay, and at the bottom, let's see, we have to find those two vomerine teeth in the upper jaw right here. So there's right here, it's sort of rigid up here, but it's tiny. It's not like massive teeth. I don't know if you guys can see on YouTube video, but like right here, that's your vomerine teeth on the upper jaw. And then we can see if we can find a glottis. So we probably have to open up the jaw a little bit, but like this is the inside of the mouth, and probably can see that right here, honey. I'm gonna cut the tongue off first because it's blocking the way. So I'm gonna take this tongue, I'm gonna cut it off. So the tongue is off, and then if I open it, so far so good, everybody. You guys all had breakfast. So right there, that's where it's the opening. That's your glottis. So this is where it swallows in, and it goes into your digestive tract and into the esophagus. Okay, it's not that bad. I did take the tongue out. Do you want to see it? This is the tongue right here. That's just the tongue right here, right? I just cut it off because I want to see what's inside the mouth. And at the back of this mouth right here, Abby, right here, this is the opening. It goes into your esophagus, and that's where when you swallow, that's where the food goes, right? So I'm gonna scroll down here. So let's cut open the frog and see what's inside. So I'm gonna put the dorsal against the pan, and I'm gonna expose the belly. So usually when you want to open up the abdomen, you're gonna do it like a flap, right? You're gonna open it up. So you're gonna make a cut here, and then make a cut here, and then you're gonna cut along the frog. So this will just create two flaps to open. And to do that, you're gonna pinch the skin like this, and then you're gonna just make a cut. Pinching the skin prevents you from cutting into the muscle, right? So once you have that cut, then you're just gonna cut along, and then you're gonna turn it, and then cut along the other side. So it's interesting to think about, like the skin is just, you know, it's not like attached that well, right? So I'm gonna pinch, and then I'm gonna cut along the frog as well right here. Anybody eating breakfast while you're watching this?
Should we be eating breakfast?
I already had breakfast.
Isn't frog supposed to taste like chicken?
Anybody have frogs before? I have.
I have.
It's not that bad though. Frog legs, I guess, but there is a distinct taste to it. All right.
If you want to like hold on to that frog, I'll eat it. I'll cook it up.
Gross. Look, this frog is preserved in chemicals, Joel.
Probably gives it a good flavor.
So now, once the skin is open, you can see that this is all the muscles, right? This is like your abs right here. Check it out. Like this frog has pretty strong abdomen muscles, right? So this is your abs. These are all the muscles, and you can see that there's blood vessels that go along here as well. Yeah, so I think we're all done here. Now the smell is getting pretty strong once I start opening this up. So then we can cut open the muscle layer. So let me just kind of peel this skin back a little bit. Right? So peel the skin, and then we can cut. I'm going to make an incision to cut into here. So I'm going to cut through the muscle. So remember what the body cavity looks like, right? Yeah, you see this frog too, Charlotte? And I have to cut through the sternum, the breastbone, all the way here. So here, this is getting harder to cut because this is where you have like your ribs and your sternum, right? So once I have that, and I don't want to cut too deep because I don't want to injure or puncture any of the internal organs. But remember, frogs are your coeloms, right? They have that body cavity. And remember, we talked about like mesentery. So we're gonna, sorry if my hand's in the way, I'm just gonna do this right now. Right? So I'm gonna expose all this so you can see, once I expose this, muscle, and then here's the muscle layer. So this is like the muscle that you guys have as well, right? So this is of course, some of us have more muscles and some of us have less, and some of us have that fat that's covering over the muscle, right? But this is the muscle that we all have. We all have it somewhere, and if we were to open it, this is what gets exposed, right? So if you think about our bodies are not that different than this, right? We have your skin that covers your muscle, and you have your muscle, and once you open it, you have this body cavity, right? So you actually have this sort of empty spaces, right? So remember, compare it to something without a body cavity, like an acoelom. Acoelom is just like eating a donut, right? That's the example that I use. Eating a donut, if you cut it in half, it's just going to look exactly what you would see on the outside, right? Whereas more advanced organisms, they have this body cavity where it's sort of separated, right? You have the skin, the muscle, and then now you have this body cavity. So let me kind of just open this up a little bit more. So I'm peeling back the skin all the way back to the mouth. So if you just look at this, I know you can hear like the bone snap here, but here we go. What can you see from this? Right, if you were to look at this, what can you see? I'm just gonna looking at the YouTube video. What can you guys see? I'm just gonna see if we can get caught up with YouTube. What can you see? Can you guys identify some of these parts?
Well, there's that orange fatty bodies within various parts of the body, like
Yeah, right
behind the big muscle.
That's right. So these are your fatty bodies right here. So they're quite conspicuous when you open it up, right? So that's your fatty bodies, right? So I remember when I first opened it, it's like, man, what's all these orangey yellow stuff? Yeah, that's your fatty bodies. If you look right directly in the center, in the middle of this is your heart. So right here, remember, we have a 3-chamber heart. So we can take this heart after and look at what that looks like. So that's your 3-chamber heart. You can see there's this massive ventricle right here. That's the one that pumps both your oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. You have your 2 atria at the top. What's this big tri-flap? This one. I'm gonna wait for the video to get caught up. But right in the middle, underneath the heart, what is this one? Can you guys identify that? This one? Anybody? No ideas? This is your liver. We don't think like our liver is that big, but it's pretty massive, right? Hold on a second. I might have mistaken that with the lungs here. I think this might be the liver here. Let me see. That might be the lungs here. Hold on a second.
Did we find the mesentery yet?
Not yet. Let's keep digging. Yeah, this is the liver. So let's go in, and the mesentery here is just like this right here. If you want to look right here, Owen, I don't know if you can see, but like right here, there's this clear translucent membrane. I don't know if you can see from here. See how that shiny spot right there? That's your membrane. That's your mesentery that attaches to like the walls of your body to your organ, which kind of holds it in place, right? Otherwise, like how it is, otherwise it's going to be suspended, right? But that's really, this membrane holds it in place. Pretty neat to think that, right? So we have this heart. If you're looking at the diagram, you have the massive liver that's here, and then right here, this is going to be your stomach. I'm just going to wait for the video to get caught up. So here you have your stomach right here, and then once we can cut the stomach open, and then if we continue in the stomach, then we can see if we can find the gallbladder. somewhere here because it's kind of small. Get rid of all these fatty bodies that's just like lingering around here. So let me take out all these fatty bodies. So all that yellow stuff, your fatty bodies. And then, okay, so there's your stomach right here. So we can cut that open and see what the frog has been eating. And then there's more fatty bodies. In the back here are your 2 lungs. And there's your heart, there's your stomach, and then now it's going to go through a bunch of intestines, and then you can see that there's mesentery right here. And all this is all just intestines. So the intestines don't look that full. Maybe they, I don't know, the frog didn't eat before any of this, but like it doesn't seem that full. And yeah, that's really it. It doesn't seem like it's that complicated, right? And the back here you can see some arteries. If you can see, like right here in the with the red, that's the arteries. But let's cut the stomach open and see what this frog has been eating. And when you look at if you get a chance, when you do a dissection of the frog, you can see like the texture of this. Or some of you guys might have eaten like a stomach before, and you notice that the texture is very different. And also like the toughness of the material is also very different as well. So let's cut the stomach open, and as we cut the stomach open, I can tell you that it's harder to cut the stomach. It has a tougher tissue material, and yeah, so this is inside the stomach. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's inside the stomach. That's been digesting whatever it is. Yeah, the smell is sort of getting to me. But I've cut a frog before that you can actually find insects in there. So we can cut the large intestine here at the back. This is going to go towards the anus, but like this is the large intestine, so it looks like there's a lot of poop in here because it looks pretty full. So I'm going to cut this open. Let me see if you guys can see this. So open that up. So that's all the poop that's going to poop out right here. So that's your large intestine. Pretty neat. Let me see what else we can find here. Any questions at this point? I know like there's a delay in the video, but like if there's any questions right now, please let me know. I think this is pretty cool. One unique thing about like frogs and like simpler animals is that they have this what they call like the cloaca, and that's where they have that one exit for like the sperm and the urine or feces. So like when we like for mammary animals like mammals like us, right, like we pee and poop in different sort of openings, right? Like if we were to look at males, your urine comes out from one spot and then your feces come out from one spot. For females, it's like urine for one spot and then there's feces for another spot, right? But here in frogs, they have this opening that is just one opening for all 3 of them. So if they need to deposit sperm or eggs or feces or pee, they all go out from one opening called the cloaca. So if you look at the guide, it's number 10. That's where all of those exit. So we can see if we can find it here, and let me see if we can cut it open further. You guys are so quiet. It makes me feel like I'm just doing this by myself. What's going on here? Since school's open next week, do you guys want to come into school?
No thanks.
You're okay not coming in at all, Eric? You just
What's going on at school?
Well, we talked about your graduation plan too, or convocation plan. So we talked about that.
We're gonna find out more about that tomorrow, aren't we?
I think so. I don't want to tell you guys what it is because I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what it is. I don't think I am. So I'm just gonna let you guys wait a little bit. But yeah. Well, you guys do have a chance to come into school to wrap things up, I guess. But there we go. Here, do you guys see that hole at the back? Let me see if I can make it easier to see. But it's right here. So here is where everything comes out from this. So right here, you can have poop, you can have pee, you can have your eggs coming out. So let's cut this open. And see where that leads to, right? Because you can probably guess that's going to lead into 3 different areas. So I'm just going to... Nobody's finding this gruesome yet, right? So far so good. Okay, take off the skin at the back. We had a pretty lengthy staff meeting today. Talked about your convocation. Do you guys know what it is, or no idea?
No clue.
Nothing yet, hey? I think you guys have like an in-person convocation, I think.
Well, how does that work though? Because like, isn't it only 50 people allowed outdoors?
Yeah, I think it's outside, but yeah. I guess the details are still being worked out. I think you guys might have, because a lot of universities are having like a live stream or like some pre-recorded convocation. That might be the only option that we can have in that way. There we go. Oh. So there's a lot of muscles here to go in to push all this stuff out. But once we expose all this, then that's where it leads to. So like here, all the intestines, if you have your ovaries, all of that goes out that one cloaca. So that's pretty neat. Let's see what else we can find here. It kind of smells though. Now that this is all opened up, I'm gonna scroll down here. We looked at all of this stuff. We looked at the large intestines and small intestines. We looked at the anus. We looked at the mesentery at the back here, and pancreas is somewhere here in that small sort of leaf-like structure. And there's the spleen that's back here, that's attached with the mesentery right here. Right, and the heart, we can cut open the heart and see the 3 chambers, but like here's the heart, right? There's your ventricle, like I said again. So we can cut this open and see the cross section here. And let's see if we can lift this up. So once we lift this up, that's your major ventricle. Right, and that pumps into all the blood in that frog in these 2 atria. Right, pretty cool. I think that's pretty much it. The kidneys are back here somewhere. I'm gonna take some fresh breaths away from this because now it really is starting to smell. I wonder if I just sort of mushed it up somewhere. There's like nothing left here, hey? Okay. Any questions? I think this is near the end of our dissection. We looked at all the fatty bodies and all that, the yellow and orange, but this is your frog dissection. We looked at the exterior, looked at the eyes, the mouth, and the tongue, and how it feeds. And then we looked at the 3-chamber heart, and we looked at the insides and the body cavity of that. And then we looked at the intestine and how it digests the food from the stomach and all the way to the small intestines, such as these, into the large intestine. And then out goes into this one opening in special to sort of like the minor animals, not the mammals, where your feces and urine will come out along with your sperm or egg. But that's it for your bullfrog dissection. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I don't know because it's a virtual dissection, but hopefully it's better than nothing. Yeah. Any thoughts, comments right now?
I think that I identified the eardrums or like the tympanums of the
Yep.
frog looked smaller, so I assumed it was female. Did we find any ovaries in the frog?
Oh, I feel like I've like taken a lot of the stuff out, Owen, that I don't know if I can find. It's all like convoluted right now. So yeah, my best guess is I can't find the ovaries. Maybe are these ones, but like it just doesn't look that great right now. But yeah. We can look at also like the padding of these ones. I can see if I can pick another frog out and compare them. So here's another frog, but well, this one looks like a bigger one. You can see. So we can see if we can identify the difference between these two pads. But doesn't seem like there is that significant difference between these two pads. So I would say that they might be female. It seems like the pads here on the hands are just like they're not that swelled up. That's one difference. But I don't want to cut this one open. I'll leave this one for next year. But seems like these might be female frogs. That's a good observation, though, Owen. Any other comments or anything like that? I don't even know who's here and watching because I can't change my screen with my gloves. I'm gonna take my gloves off now. But if there's nothing else, I guess thanks for tuning in, and I'm gonna start cleaning up. All good.
Thank you.
All right. I will see you guys maybe next week. I don't know. Okay.
Have a good weekend.
You too. See you, Joel.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.